Hello, family. This is Michael Zingara. I'm the channel host for All Exotic Tarot and Divination. And I want to make this video addressing about my own personal experience and research and about the verbal lessons that I've learned from different teachers and the times that I've talked shop with different priests, spiritual workers, root doctors, just people all over the spectrum, from all over the world, from a Navajo shaman to a man from Fiji that's a shaman in his family, and Siberian shamans and Mongolian shamans, and I've had the pleasure to meet a guy that was a Laplander shaman, and different witches, different just root doctors, all tons of people. Okay, but also years and years of research, and I want to talk about the truth about the most common groups of spirits that people tend to turn to, and the real truth about the spirit world. Okay. Universally, the first group of spirits that most people turn towards is their ancestors. Okay, it's not necessarily the case here in the Western world. Like I've described before, the three main religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, prohibits these practices. Okay, and whatever they don't like, don't understand, they call evil. Okay. So the ancestor spirit, that includes people who are actually of your bloodline. Okay. In African religions, these people are called Igun. Okay. But that's a pretty loose term. But you'll see some practitioners calling any spirit Igun. That's not necessarily correct usage. Okay. So basically, an ancestor spirit is any one of your bloodline, and it can go back thousands of years. All right. Humanity has been here a lot longer than archaeology wants to admit, anthropology wants to admit. If you take a look at the pyramids, well, actually, let's do the Sphinx. Yeah, look at the Sphinx in Egypt. The rock that they carved it out, it's got about 10,000 years of water erosion. So that rock that was used to build that structure, the main base of it and everything, it's over 10,000 years old. Okay, that's more than the Christian world wants to admit. But all over the world, there's ancestors, spirits. I have videos on how to contact them. They are the safest spirits to work with. They should be your first thing that you go to before you go to deity, before you go to different pantheons, before you invoke anything. Okay? Form a relationship with your ancestor spirits. Alright? People are assigned different spirit guides. Okay? Majority of these spirit guides are people that have lived and died and are now in the spiritual realm. They could have lived multiple lives. Most of us have reincarnated many times. Those type of earthbound spiritual guides are there to help you. Okay? But the deal is, there's a lot of spirits that try to pose as those helpful beings that are trying to help you. Okay? There's things that are, people that are walking around in the spirit world don't understand that they're dead. They don't understand they need to go to the light, or they're afraid of the actual light. That light's the gate to heaven. Alright? And that's a common experience that people from all around the world have talked about. So, when you do take on things as spirit guides, for God's sakes, go see multiple hardcore diviners and get a consensus if that spirit is actually trying to be who it is. In my spiritual practices, I've had spirits come to me in a situation where mediums were present. These people can hear and understand spirits, pretend to be something that they're not. I had one spirit basically was disruptive to the situation, wanted to tell me that it was a gypsy spirit, didn't have any clue about our rules about hygiene. And clear, there's taboos about water, there's taboos about food. The spirit couldn't answer it, so I told it to get the hell out of there. Alright? I've had spirits claim that they're from a certain tribe in Africa. Alright? And like I said, I do tons and tons of reading. They had no idea how they make cheese. Okay? When the principal food source of this African tribe is dairy products, how the hell can this thing not know how to make cheese? And the type of cheese that they make. Alright? So, what I'm trying to put across is when something comes at you and claims to be a spirit guide, put it to the test. If it says it's from blah blah blah, go study that culture, ask it some culturally significant questions. Okay? It's a lot of things I like to pretend. Okay? A person I know, there's in the Pacific Northwest, there's a group of people that are talking to a spirit. I think it's called Ramtha. Alright? Well, he popped out of his body outside their compound, and basically what they're talking to would be the Christian equivalent to demon. Okay? Yet there's a whole group of people following. Yes, this thing does give prophecy and do things, but be picky about what you align yourself with. As far as spirit animals, not everyone has a spirit animal. Okay? Most of the time, these things will show up in dream first. Some people use psychedelic substances to get in touch with these spirits. It's not a bad idea to be with a shaman that has animal spirits in their group. Personally, I don't use or have animal spirits, or I haven't contacted them, or they haven't contacted me. Now, my brother, on the other hand, has had multiple spirit animals contact him. He's a different kind of shaman. I'm a diviner. Alright? So, with the spirit world, there's things out there that are, well, I'm going to get to that later. Not everything appears to be what it wants to be. A lot of things claim to be demons that aren't demons. They're screwed up human beings that haven't crossed over to the other side. So, be leery if anything claims to be an angel. Be leery if anything claims to be a demon. Okay, now let's get to angels. Have you people read your Bible? Angel is a messenger of God. Okay? There is the concept of guardian angels, which I can test it to that. It's not exactly how the Christians have it worked out, but there is main spirit guides that do act as angels. Okay, that will protect you, and that bullet will go this way, or the thing will go through the windshield beside you and not get you, type of deal thing. So, each person does have one main spirit guide that walks with them throughout their whole life. Okay. Now, for other spirit groups, it kind of amazes me that certain people work with them. We'll see this a lot more in the New Age occult, Wiccan type of world, especially among card readers. Fairies. Okay. Yes, there's good fairies out there. They're a spirit group that exists. But there's two courts of fairies. There's the Seelie and the Unseelie court. One likes humans, one despises humans. How do you tell the difference? Did you even think about the fairies that don't like people? Okay? Fairies are known for being practical jokers, for being tricksters. For if you disrespect them, they get real edgy and screw up your life. You're chaotic beings to begin with. Why would you want to work with them or align them? Think about it, people. Yes, there's good ones out there. You get good experiences. For every good one, there's a bad one, too. Alright. Angels. All this lore these Christians have gotten about angels doesn't come from Kabbalistic backgrounds. It's made up. When works of fiction are the basis for religious practice, that's a no-no, alright? Ritualistic people who are summoning angels and stuff, how do you know what you're summoning? How can you confirm it? Just because it's in a book, does it make it right? You know, if that's the case, all the Curious George stories were true. You know what I'm saying? So, I know there's a lot of affirmation type oracle decks out there that deal with the angels. Go to other diviners, confirm it's actually angels that you're talking to. When you do, you'll find there are a lot of these people that they're not angels, they're just people that passed, and it's their job is to take care of you. Okay. Let's see, in our group. And then when you do work with the angels, realize they're night and day. You know, my family's got an angel that protects us. I've seen it strike down people with MS. I've seen it give 3 people that really screwed me over have all got the same brain cancer. And I just asked for justice. I wasn't trying to curse these people. Archangel, angelic forces are nothing to be trifled with, nothing to be worked lightly with, and need to be clearly dictated to what you're looking for in the relationship and stuff like that. You have to be careful. They are capable of an incredible amount of death and destruction. They're also incredible, capable amount of love. But there's one thing that's ultimately makes me not want to work with them. They have never walked human existence. They don't know what it's like to be human. They're somewhat alien from us. So basically, you have to take that in consideration. Alright? Another spirit group that more people should work with and they don't is the plants. Okay? Everything has got a piece of God in it. Everything has a spirit. Everything has a soul. This was the major belief for most of our existence as human beings. Only lately have we decided that we're going to abandon these ideals. Okay? When it comes to plant kingdom, plant spirits are benevolent. I encourage everybody to work with them. If you walk through the woods and there's a certain tree that seems special to you, use your intuition. Speak with the tree. Tell it that you'd like to form a relationship with it. Water it. give it fertilizer, be nice to it, speak with it, tell it can appear in your dreams and start your communication that way. Plant spirit's never going to backbite you. Plant spirit's never going to harm you. They just give and ask very little for what they do. They are our brothers. They're part of the natural world. I don't know when it happened that we decided that we were better than everything else, but the plants and the animals are our brothers. They should be respected as such. There is a cycle of life. Things prey upon other things. That's how the energy is distributed. And there was a time when we would take game, we would pray and thank the spirit for it. You know, an animal needs to be sacrificed for me to help me spiritually. I thank the animal. I ask for its forgiveness for my misactions that brought these bad things upon me. I thank it for the life it's going to give me. And we do not let that go to waste. Most of the times when practitioner will sacrifice something, not all of them, but will sacrifice something and gets eaten. It gets killed humanely, quickly, and as painlessly as possible. Alright? Only Satanists torture animals. Okay? If you think animal sacrifice is horrible, well, you've got a big beef against the Jewish faith, because they sacrifice animals. They also have a ritualistic form of witchering, and so do the Muslims. Alright? So, you may not be a Christian, but Christian ideals have formed your thought about things, because a long time ago, things were different. That was before Christianity came about. Alright, so as far as animal archetype spirits, like to pray to dolphins or something like that, or venerate dolphins, I have no experience with that. No need to do it. If I was to accidentally kill a dolphin, I would ask for its forgiveness, though, because it is my brother. Let's see, another group of people. These ghost hunter people, for God's sakes, quit it. You're irritating these poor souls. Most of these manifestations that you see are, they're repeat manifestations of a lot of psychic energy that happened. When you do run into truly haunted spirits, it's somebody that's more or less has an attachment to this world and is confused and hasn't gone through the process of going to heaven and being reborn again. These things should be pitied, prayed for, candles lit for them, and when you ask for a prayer for some spirit that's like in your house that's haunted, ask the spirit world to bring guides to this lost spirit and give it a guiding hand so it can achieve the rest of his existence and enter the cycle of life again, life and death. Okay. See, what's in our group of spirits? The jinn. Okay. Western people don't understand what a jinn is. Okay. These are spirits that exist. They've never been human, but they are part of the spiritual world. The way the jinn work is they belong to different families, let's say, houses. Some houses like the humans, some don't. There's an amazing amount of etiquette and ritual that needs to take place for someone to establish a relationship with the jinn. There's a lot of truth to the stories about the jinn appearing and being hurtful to humanity. Okay, that's another group. For everyone that there's good, there's a bad one. Okay, if you don't know what you're doing, Don't ask for help. All right. There's some Buddhist spirits that are exceptionally good. Okay. Kuan Yin would probably be the most popular one. This manifestation, this personality, as I like to say, the spiritual personality. She's the mother of compassion. Totally safe to work with. She will help you out. It's a good spirit to attach yourself to. A lot of the spirits that are similar to her that are in the Buddhist faith are worthy of forming a relationship with. And she asks very little indeed. All right. Let's talk about some of the African diasporic spirits. All right. When I talk about African diasporic spirits, I'm basically what comes to the average person's mind is voodoo. So let's talk about the voodoo spirits first. Okay. The spirits that are in the voodoo pantheon are Loa. Okay. Loa is a servant of God. The Christian way to view it is almost like an angel. Okay. Probably a little bit more important than an angel. They have personalities. They have different aspects. They have ways that they wish to be approached. There's orders to it. Okay. It's okay to be good towards a Loa, but unless you know how to approach them correctly, you shouldn't be sacrificing things to them that are living. Okay. Now, a Loa expects a lot in return. All right. Person can actually form a spiritual marriage with one of these spirits, and there will be provisions and taboos and things that you can do and cannot do. And it could be a lifetime commitment, or it could be marriage for a year. Okay. They work on the process of reciprocity, where basically it's a give and take relationship. Okay. Now, there's three major groups of Loa. There's the Pedro, which are most fiery and hot spirits. A lot more extreme, a lot more demanding. Oh crap, I'm brain farting. There's the Gide, which are basically the spirits of the dead. They're crude, rude, but more down to earth than any other group of spirits. Boy, and I can't remember the name of the normal everyday spirits that are kind of like the Orisha. I have to look that one up. When I done having my brain fart, I'll write it in the comments. But the Loa, my really personal relationship, that last group that I can't remember the name, is the ones that if you're going to contact, those are the ones I would talk to. Okay. As far as Paulo works, Paulo works with the earthbound spirits that did not go to heaven. They have Congolese deities in the pantheon, but the majority of what the practice is working with the dead. Okay. Problem with that is, well, there's a lot of problems with Paulo, but that's for another story. Problem is, they're a powerful group of spirits. They're not necessarily the highest evolved spirits. Okay. Now, as far as their deities are concerned, they're just as powerful as Loa or Orisha. Okay. They're helpers of God. Let's talk about the Orisha. The Orisha are probably the most kindest, most benevolent group of spirits among all the African diasporic spirit groups. And one thing about the African diasporic groups, you don't have to wonder if they're in the room. You work with them long enough, there will be no doubt. Santeria is not the have faith religions. Like the Santeria is basically, I've seen this happen. They told me this and this was going to happen. I've seen these spirits. It's the I'll show you it, then you'll believe type religion. Okay? It's not for everybody. Not everybody's supposed to be a priest. Not everyone's supposed to get crowned. Not everybody's supposed to have a close relationship with all the Orisha. But out of all the African spirits, I believe they're the most benevolent. But like with any spirit group, if you do constantly ignore their advice, do things to piss them off, they will mess your life up. You know, if you do a donation, you ask for help, and you want to know what's going on, they tell you what's going on, you don't believe it, and you don't do the things they say that help you out of that situation, it's your own damn fault that your life's screwed up. All right? You're the one that came asking for help, dumbass. All right, so in Brazil, okay, there's a difference between Eshu that the Bible allows in Orisha worship, then EXU, Eshu. They use the same type of word. Those are all earthbound spirits of humans. Okay? Some of the more weirder Babalao Eshu are thrown in with that group, kind of the not so kind ones. There's an Eshu that both formats of the religion worship, because there's no Babalaos still. There was no Babalaos. And Ifa is a different religion than Candomblé. Okay? So some of the Eshus, like there's one that I won't name, he's known for making little holes. That's what his description says. Okay? Those little holes that he makes, he puts holes in people's intestinal tracts, neurovascular tracts and stuff like that. Okay, if he's fed the proper things and approached the proper way, he's used to kill people. Okay, he's not a human. He's something different. Okay, so in a short and skinny, that's basically the voodoo spirits out there. Back to voodoo. Each lineage has certain personal spirits that they've worshipped over time that have gained in power, because they're somewhat almost as powerful as Loa. So that's another type of spirit, but the chances of you ever getting their name or calling them, unless you belong to that house, it's not going to happen. All right, let me think of all right, the different shamanistic spirits from Finland all through the northern part of Russia, Siberia to Mongolia. They have white spirits and black spirits. The only people that have the authority or the ability to work with these spirits is the shaman. So to the average Western person, unless you're trying to become one of those shamans, you're not going to get the chance to incorporate them into your spiritual practice. The spirits of Tibetan Buddhism and Bon shamanism, which is a huge blend, kind of the same deal. You won't get to work with them. It's too alien to the Western world. The Taoist tradition and Chinese traditions, there are spirits in there that are benevolent. It's a mixed bag. They are capable of being worked with. Research the one you want to talk to, figure out what they like, and see if they come. If they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. You know. Okay. Now, as far as Espiritista or Spiritissimo, Kardec, spiritualism, these type of spirits that work within that circles, basically, the way they think about it. You're born, you're assigned with a set amount of spirit guides that accompany all through your life. There's spirit guides that enter your life in and out. And then there's spiritual commissions that will help you, or other people's spirits that will help you. This is another reciprocity type relationship, because as much time spent helping yourself with spirit, you pray for the world, you pray for the prisoners and stuff like that, in betterment. A very beautiful practice if you really want to see true spiritual happenings before your eyes. It's a religion to think about joining. They have live mediums, and basically the person's spirit guide that they work with, the medium, one of their main spirit guides, will come down, and this person could be from another state, don't know you from jack. That spirit will talk to you and say things and predict things for you, tell you what happened last week, tell you what's going to happen tomorrow, and blah blah blah, and do things like drink a bottle of whiskey, and when the person's done with when the spirit goes away and the person's not drunk, okay? So it's a whole nother ball of wax. There's a lot of pitfalls to that religion too. You really have to be careful who you pick to do these things with. They need to be trained, experienced mediums, okay? Let me tell you a story I heard from one of my elders. It's a very important elder in the religion, and basically, on the Spiritissimo side, there was this lady that was having misas every Thursday, had a large following of people. The spirits will come and stuff like that. She wasn't trained properly. It wasn't heightened, elevated spirits of light. All the cures she prescribed, all the spiritual works turned to crap. Okay? And basically what happened there is she didn't have other, more experienced mediums helping her, getting her practice established. Okay? So, as far as those spirit guides and as far as Spiritissimo is concerned, very good foot into that spiritual world. If you're supposed to be a part of it, it'll come to you. Let's see any other spirits. All right. Here's some truth that the New Age type practitioners, the people that are speculating on theory and stuff and experimentation, and they're talking about how they see the spirit world and stuff like that. There is a lot of spirits that lie. There are spirits that are basically here to feed on human suffering, to feed on mental illness. I would hazard to say that a lot of the people that are locked up with multiple personalities are actually have spiritual attachments. The reason why a lot of people in America are running around depressed and are taking pills left and right is because they don't have a relationship with their ancestors. So these negative spirits come into their life and basically take over and make them miserable and feed off that misery. Okay? Here's something else that may be controversial, but this happens to a lot of women. There's spirits that basically will come in, have sex with your sleeping body. The next day you'll feel like you've had horrible, rough sex. Okay? A lot of times they disappear. But there's women that try to form relation, and this happens with men too, but it's more common with women. They form a relationship with the spirit, acknowledge its existence, give it more and more of their ashe, their soul essence, and this thing becomes more and more corporal, more able to affect the material world. All right? And they end up as lovers, and these women get so involved in this relationship, they don't realize that this thing is like a vampire draining them. Okay? Some common harmful spirits that everyday people occur when you have night fright and you can't move and you feel something's pressing down on your chest. You're being spiritually attacked. All right? There's a whole group of spirits that are out there to do that. When children complain about the boogeyman, there's spirits that basically feed off these children's fears, and they're real. All right, take them serious. So other common spirits. Those are probably the two most common spirits that mundane people run into. All right. Every ghost isn't a friendly ghost. Every ghost isn't a scary ghost. Okay. People can exist. The living and the dead can exist within each other's living space and get along. All right. But if the ghost is upset about life with you and does crazy stuff, you need to get the house exorcised. Find a shaman, find a babalao, find a Santerian, find a Palo guy, find a Buddhist can clean a house, a Native American Indian can clean a house. Find anybody with the Catholic priest. Okay. Now here's the truth about how the church fights exorcism. Basically, the priests spend day in and day out doing prayers over until the damn demon is so frustrated, so sick of hearing it, it leaves the body or kills the person. Okay? That's why it takes them months, weeks, years to get rid of these things. Because the demon thing is not acknowledging the power of Jesus. If they acknowledge the power of Jesus, it would leave the body. A babalao, a shaman per se, can get rid of a spirit in half an hour tops. Maybe one ritual most of the time if it's really a motherfucker, maybe two. Okay, so I don't know why. Well, people have no other choice, they have no other place to go. So they go to the church and they get tortured for half a year. It's inhumane. I know a lot of Christians will be upset about this, but you make Jesus appear in someone's body and he tells me a bunch of stuff about my life and how to improve it, and it works, I'll start believing in Christ. Okay? I don't have faith. I've got knowledge. There's a difference. Okay? If Jesus works for you, it's good. Believe it or not, in certain religious traditions, there's phrases in these traditions where some people are supposed to walk through life as an atheist. There's lessons to be learned. You get reincarnated into a different life. Maybe you're a priest in the next life. There's lessons to be learned. All right? I don't care who you worship, as far as your Godhead and stuff like that. But I do want to make this video for people who want to work with different spirits. I want them to know exactly what they're getting into. All right. Elemental spirits. Okay, a lot of other spirits pose as elemental spirits. Fire spirits are so alien and chaotic they're almost impossible to communicate. Water spirits basically hate humanity and want to kill you. Earth spirits are so slow speaking and so time consuming to work with, most humans can't do it. Okay? Air spirits could care less about you. Out of all the groups of spirits to work with, probably the hardest. They're just that weird and different. You can't humanize them. They think what they think and they do what they do. See what other spirits. These planetary spirits, I've got no idea about those, so you're going to have to ask a ritual magician about that. I'm not going to work with them. It doesn't make sense. I don't need to work with them. So, a lot of the European magic and stuff like that, man, if you get that stuff to work, all power to you. But shit hits the fan, I'm going to turn to my gypsy practices, or I'm going to turn to Orisha. And I know people that do both, and when shit hits the fan, guess where they go? They go to their Orisha, they go to All right. Let's see what are spirit groups. Basically, that's the most common ones. I appreciate everybody listening. If you don't agree with my opinion, when it comes to these spirit groups, I don't want to hear about it. I really don't. Don't bother commenting. I'm going to go off of all my years of research, all the different real deal people that I know that are real shamans, that are real priests, that are real spiritual Buddhist monks. If I don't want to hear it. I really don't. I don't care what group you belong to, blah, 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 blah. If it works for you, I'm happy. All right. But if it really does work for you, go see a bunch of 3 or 4 different other diviners and see if what's talking to you is actually being honest with you, is who it's supposed to do. Oh my God, I almost threw up when I seen this. It was so crazy. I can't remember her name, but this woman's using a Ouija board by herself and is talking with the spirit. Ouija boards, you need a male and a female aspect, 1 male, 1 female for the thing to work. You have to do so many opening rituals and protection rituals to make the thing work. It's crazy. The surest way to get attached is to use a Ouija board by yourself. Alright, so you'll see a lot of crazy nutball things. If you don't believe what I say, go do the research yourself. Find out. Just don't believe me because I told you. Go out and do the work. Go out and do the research. If you want to learn about Chinese spirits, go talk to a Chinese Taoist magician. That's the best way. There's a lot of value in books, but the books can only get you so far. Alright, people, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're offended by it, I'm sorry. I'm pretty set in my ways. I got years, my teachers have years and years of experience, so it's hard to argue with them. Alright, but the point is, if you are going to work with spirits, stick with the ones that are safe. But I can't tell you what to do. It's your life, it's your choice, it's your destiny. But I just want to let everybody know that basically, deep down inside, you've got a lot of spiritual strength. You are capable of doing so much more than you think. The depth of your spirituality can be so much greater than it already is. And that's pretty much it, people. Have a great life and good time, and Eshe.